Everyone's so stingy around here. Everyone's so stingy everywhere. You're my only customer. Don't make me beg. Now buy something.
Sure. We'll buy. Welcome back to the Dark Souls 2 Online beta. Now, I'm gonna put this link in all the videos for this. This gentleman basically went over a lot of the story information that's on items and spells and that. And,
Thanks.
well, I think that's a good video, because, I mean, you know, obviously a lot of people, don't get me wrong, I'm sure a lot of us were interested in the story. But the thing is, you know, especially if this was your third time, I could understand spending more time on it. But this was my first time, so, you know, I wanted to get more in the nitty-gritty.
Thanks.
So, I think that was very helpful for people in my situation who didn't get time to examine everything in the game. So, I want to talk about a little about what he has. He has always talked about much more than I always have, of course, but he asked basically, like, for example, is any of the areas we're in forgotten named areas of what already exists? Like, you know, like, apparently some people have been theorizing one location might be the remnants of Osil and such. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure the odds are we're in a completely new area. Because a lot of the items do hint towards stuff in Dark Souls 1. I definitely agree with a lot of that. But I think the idea is really just to be in more of a strange land, really. But you know, it's just subjective opinions, you know, we all barely know anything about the game. But anyway, we're going to cross this bridge here. And of course, we're examining and being safe. Like I said, those thieves like hiding in that grass. And I think that, it is interesting about one item they talked about, how apparently this was a hunting ground for undead, which would be interesting actually towards the theory if this was forgotten lands of lands we've already been to. Because, I mean, we basically wrecked everything in Alondo, like the whole land, all the people of power and everything. So, that would basically just make it a giant land of nothing but undead. Now, an interesting question is, are these people hunters or are they undead? I would assume they're undead because they respawn, which would indicate they're probably undead then. Damn dual wielder. Yeah, back off. Fall down. Goodbye. So long. I really hope that it's just Poise not walking in the game yet. I really hope. Now we're gonna get to a really interesting part of the beta. I think this is probably the most dangerous area. If you just come running in and charging on this cliffside, you will be so screwed. I'm so glad Bloodstains worked so good in this too, because Bloodstains were like worthless practically in Dark Souls. Half the time they didn't work properly, or they had weird issues of where the ghosts spawn. But yeah, there's a lot of thieves on this road. Thieves, bandits, hunters. I believe it's actually the armor set that talks about them hunting, actually, now I think about. So, actually, they could be the hunters of the undead. And I guess they probably died, because since they respawn, that would indicate they're undead. Never dying. Oh, and there goes that guy. Yeah, cliffs are pretty much everyone's worst enemy. But yeah. See, you can barely see those people. They use the grass and everything to their aid there. Yeah, you gotta take a quick shot and, oh, what? See, there was that one. Sneaky little bastard. He got that damn archer helping him. I wanted to get him out of the way quick. And obviously, I wanted to be more careful, but I'm pretty sure the archer was the only one left now. But I didn't want to take chances, obviously. Because we are talking about Souls game here, you know? Sadistically, evilly fun. But no, I don't really think the game takes place anywhere in areas that have been talked about, at least so far. Maybe later in the game there might be other areas, but this general area is just kind of, I don't think it's in relation to any area we currently really know in Dark Souls. I mean, the developers in the early stages said that they had no plans to make it really that closely linked to Dark Souls, so I don't think there's very high odds of us going to any areas we already know. Now up here is a little trap. See, I really like what they did with these thief corridors. Because, I mean, really, they are really hard to see in the grass. They really do blend in. They're, like, close up, you would think they really don't. But, yeah, and here I'm like, oh, now where are they? I'm, like, taking a really, really close look here. See, I really like this. They never really took advantage of enemies blending in with anything except for, like, darkness. So, I think this is definitely going to make some more interesting surprises. But they really need to get the poise to work properly. I really hope that. Now, talking more about the kingdoms that are in the beta, basically, apparently there was a kingdom that was supposedly prospering, which is supposedly where we are, but obviously it doesn't look like it's really prospering, obviously. So, and Nebo the merchant talked about a great war. So, something happened, and we know of a few countries in there. I really do recommend watching his video, because it's obviously much better for this, but yeah, I just trying to give my thoughts a little on. I definitely have to wonder if any of the factions really have anything to do with this war, or if something else. Because you usually, like, so far haven't really played as anyone, like, really directly with a real country before, so that would indicate, like the Dragon Knight, the Temple Knight, like, he's wearing dragon armor, which is supposed to be another kingdom, which, is, supposed to be the kind of theory about the war right now. I don't really have a lot of thoughts on that at the moment, to be honest. That could be so many things. I'm really still more curious about the giants. Like, all of a sudden, the giants or something. I mean, all we've seen is the bones of the dead of giants. So I just find it interesting, all of a sudden, the giants, or suddenly something, or they're even alive. Like, we never see these bone giants or anything in the Valley of the Giants. But then, of course, I wasn't thinking at the time that it could have also maybe been referring to the the Temple Knight Stone type giants out in Orlando, and that could be possible. I mean, but I mean, it's been debatable about the giants in Orlando being illusions since they fade away when you banish Guinevere or kill Gwendolyn. So, and Hawkeye is dead, and the blacksmith giant's the only known living giant out of those. So we don't even really know if they're the same race of giants, because the Valley of the Giants, everything's just dead. So that's actually, I never really thought about that when I think about it. I mean, are they even related? Like, is that where the giants came from? No, I never really. The bone structure don't really seem, because some of those skulls down there, those skulls look much bigger than their heads with a weird jaw. I don't know. I just find it interesting she mentions giants, because the giants never really seem to play that big of a part, aside for Hawkeye's little group of archers. But yeah, now I really find that curious now. Like, do the giants in the temple, in the valley, in the Giants Tomb, the Tomb of the Giants. Man, I'm getting names all screwed up. The Tomb of the Giants. Are those even the same giants or not? That's actually a very interesting thing I've never thought about. Now here is one of the bosses. Now, as I said before in the previous videos, the Mirror Knight that's in the demo is not in this beta. There were two completely different bosses, and I kind of take a peek in here, and behold, we meet some old friends. Yeah, we got Necromancer over there, and we got some skeletons. Now, I didn't know that guy was a Necromancer at this point in time. I couldn't get a good look at him. I just know there was something there, obviously. So, I test the waddles, of course, to kill this guy and see if there's a necromancing effect on him. No souls. And I wait to see if he was Rex, and he does, so. Yeah, I'm just kind of like, yeah, he's gonna revive. I find the other boss more interesting at the moment, because it could have relations to the story as far as we know so far. Because we don't really know anything about this boss. This boss is the, I think it was the Skeleton Lord or Lord of Skeletons, one of the two. Yeah, I think I went to go check the behind this rock cliff here, because I didn't obviously follow this path, and if I remember quickly, I regret this course of action quite so. Oh dears. Yeah, I was kind of like, shit. Shit. Can it go well? You sure went to the boss room. No, not really. I just wanted to explore everything, of course. So I'm like, shit. I need to get these people killed one-on-one here quickly, or disposed of. So the big fat guy is obviously a lot slower, so we can get his little helpers separated from him, because these guys are, well, obviously really easy. Go, go. The old fatty right behind. Now, I definitely find it interesting the Black Phantoms are in the game, because obviously Black Phantoms were completely different from Demon Souls in Dark Souls. Aside from Invaders, you could only see them when you were Grave Lorded, so it definitely makes me think they're just going to make them like how Demon Souls was, where they're just around. And I think that's probably for the bell, because, you know, that's actually one of the things I really wish I could experience in Dark Souls. I never got really Gravelorded, like, actually Gravelorded before. And that really sucks. I mean, I've seen the message, but, you know, I've never actually gotten actually Gravelorded. Like, actually see the enemies and shit, so. I've seen them in other people's worlds, though. Yeah, if I remember correctly, what was I doing at this point? I think I wanted to go back to the shop, actually. Yeah, I think I was wanting back to the merchant at this point. And yeah, that's how you get in that little room now. Now, of course, I'm making sure there's no funny little surprises, and yeah, that's the exit. But I decide, because I don't know, it is a small little tunnel. It's not some giant maze, but I was kind of concerned. I don't know what's in there, so, you know, I could be trapped with a giant wild war pig, for all I know. Those were always fun in the Duke's Archives, weren't they? Loads of fun. Whew. Man, I really miss getting to play this already, though. It sucks that we're gonna have to wait until March. There was so much more I wanted to do, which is why I'm really thankful for that old guy for doing a lot of the lore aspect.
Don't abandon a
Because I didn't have the time to really
lonely
times. That's for sure. I mean, everyone's mortal dead and everything. So I'm debating whether I want to level up or if I want to, Also, I didn't point out, but, my character always started out several levels higher. Like, I was thinking we were gonna start probably in the 5-10 range, but, no, we start much higher level than, I even noticed for a while, so. But yeah, we know this was a hunting ground for undead. So, and the undead look clearly much different, as I pointed out before away, but it makes me wonder if the undead course is changing. I mean, obviously it's just graphics and stuff too, but I wonder if the different color texture in that's supposed to indicate a real, like, worsening of the dark side, possibly. But yeah, see, here we can see that time is still disoriented. And that really... And I didn't get to try that small soapstone, but I think I understand what it does. I think what the small soapstone does is allows you to summon someone into an area you already killed the boss. Because if I remember correctly, and well, obviously I'll get to re-see it, but I could have swore I seen it after I've killed both bosses. But yeah, at this point I decided I'd see if somebody would summon me, I kind of explore there. If not, then, well, I go and continue on. At this point I was still unaware that I actually needed to use because, like I said before, I was mistaken in thinking that since we could get invaded whether we're hollow or not, I assumed summoning was the same way, but you have to still recover your humanity to its max to summon people, so. And I was just kind of like, I don't see people. I really wanted to try more gear. See, I wish they gave us a few extra hours, because after killing the bosses and exploring the last cave, I would have tried some of the classes. Try a lot more of the heavy weapons. And here we're going to see more fail with the first person magic. I'm going to have to really get used to not holding L1 all the fucking time now. because that screwed me up several times. You just get like in the other games, you're just so used to holding your shield out or blocking with your two hand, so in case something jumps out of nowhere, you don't sustain as much damage. So definitely have to get used to that. But I definitely like it. I think it is a great touch. Look at this guy fucking going crazy. But I definitely think it's a fantabulous idea because while it wasn't impossible to manually aim your spells like that in the third person, it was obviously not as quick using. Like, you can just quickly go in and out of this much faster. But yeah, I'm like, It's like, I can't block. Nemo can't block. You're too hunting. But that instinct sometimes gets you. Now, I have to wonder if that big enemy was also one of the creatures hunting down the undead. Because it's definitely a very deformed looking creature. Its head looks pretty fucked up to me. And I decide, since I'm nearby, I believe I decide to go down here. But of course, this guy wants up, and I'm just like, well, few free pot shots. Screwing up. Yeah, the two-hand thing is going to take a little getting used to. But it's definitely, I'm sure Aaron's going to be very happy about it with archery, because that's the one thing Aaron really has always been annoyed by in the Souls games, is that archery is basically not a competent fighting style for most situations. Ugh. Actually, looking at that right there, where it showed his face, it looked like he had no fucking skin on his face. Ugh. Yeah, we got some guys down here, and I don't know if they actually ambush you, but I was just kind of like, I'm not whisking it. I believe this guy actually started to stand up, yeah. He was just about to start standing up, so... Yeah, go over here. Because I wanted to keep the open area in my sight. Now that was one of the items that talked about the king, who bestowed gifts to those who basically helped him. Kind of makes me think King of Land a little. Because while it kind of spoke positively about him being a giver and possible land, I mean, if this area is his land, it's definitely not prospering. That, or he's just delusional Priscilla. I mean, these people are all kind and peaceful. Yeah. The Velcro crows are so kind and peaceful, aren't they? And see, there it mentions Knights of the East. I wonder if we're gonna have any more stuff about the East, because remember, oh, what's the forest dude's name? Shiva. Shiva is from the East. Him and his little ninja friend. An ancient dragon. It's really hard to speculate on a lot of the story. Now here I was just taking a look at the different stats here real quick. Yeah, I decided to do a more slower in case you wanted to pause. But there's been a lot of people talking about all the stats stuff, so... Definitely want to try more of the armor too. I wish I could have actually taken the time to see if there was any, like, start a new calendar and see what kind of scaling effects you get from increasing stats. Or if you even get one. I don't even know. I would assume you do since it forces you to have stats in that, so I would assume it does. And we're being summoned now. I really hope they make the loading screens more like Demon Souls than Dark Souls. I really like the big artwork pictures.